let's just start out with the branding. And Bellevue, we decided we needed a brand. We had our old logo that was going around in all our vehicles. It had been on there for years, and it had the historic church on there, and the steeple was even cut off that logo, so I don't know if anybody even realized that, but we needed a new image, and that's kind of a bold statement. We influence the world. You know, it's true. I've got the annual report that we just sent out to the residents. I think they all came out yesterday. And I just didn't notice it before, but that front page of that annual report pretty much kind of lays out where that statement comes from. I mean, Offutt Air Force Base alone, we've got men and women that reside here in Bellevue and all Sarpy County, but Offutt sits in Bellevue. They're all over the world right now protecting us, so everywhere. Our sports, we have athletes from our schools that top-notch athletes that are professional players representing us. The Bellevue, that's out of Bellevue Public Schools as well. The Bellevue University, they're the Chinese students that are there. They take a lot of that information back home. And again, Stratcom, that is a nuclear switch, basically. That big building out there is just they control all of our nuclear forces from that one building. So nothing, if that doesn't influence the world, I'm not sure what would. And then also we've got entrepreneurs, well-known entrepreneurs, generals that graduated out of Bellevue. So we truly do influence what's going on, and we consider ourselves very patriotic, so I think that logo states that as well. All right, which one do I hit?
Hit the big pad about 3 times.
Along with the new branding, Bellevue's a big city. We got 65,000 people there. We've got 6 different areas of town. So when you say let's go to Bellevue, it's like, well, where is Bellevue? Because there's 4, 5, 6 different areas we could go to. So in the process, we're rebranding each one of those districts. We've got the Old Town area that's been called Old Town forever, branding that as the Frontier District, the Boulevard District, so we can kind of lay out those different districts. The other possibilities we're working on, we're trying to figure out a good name for the Northwest St. Bernadette area, Southwest Neighborhood, Fort Crook District as well. So I think it's important to identify a lot of those areas. The NC3 project, I think most everybody's heard about that now. Still not exactly sure. They don't tell us everything they're doing there. It started out as a $200 million project. That's a high-paying office campus for a lot of the Intel people around the country. And they're coming together to build a product. It's the world's best product. So they're putting a lot of minds together in that one platform. And I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, or if I did, I probably couldn't tell you anyway. But that started as $200 million. The last number I heard is $250 million. And each one of those companies that are coming to that platform are starting to talk about bringing their own little data areas, not big data centers that you see, but so I wouldn't be surprised if that moves to a $500 million project over the next couple of years. And those are all $120,000 plus jobs, 500 of them I think I mentioned. And the university is feeding students into that program. So we're real excited about that, and that's at Highway 3475 interchange. Down in that general area, I think everybody's heard that we're trying to get a racetrack, Bellevue Downs racetrack and casino. To have a casino in Nebraska, you have to have a racetrack. We never had one, so we're in the process, I shouldn't say we, but the developers are in the process of applying for that racetrack permit. It's sitting in the Racing Commission right now, so hopefully that will come out. I know we've had a lot of opposition, and it's all about competition. Of course, Caesars or Warhorse, they don't want competition here, so we're ready for it. We've been addressing all the issues and still on track. We're excited about the potential there. That's $2.5 million that comes in, just the minimum. When the racetrack casino's up, that's $2.5 million minimum would come in Bellevue. $2.5 million that would go to the county, and about $15 million that would go to the state, and those are low numbers. I don't know if anybody knows, $48 million was wagered just in Keno in Sarpy County last year. So gambling is here. They're doing a lot of gambling already. Along with the Bellevue Downs Racetrack Casino, we want to build an entertainment area down in that area to feed off that. So Bellevue is in the process of working on a water park. It'll be an indoor-outdoor water park, and it'll have an auditorium with it, and that's an Olympic-sized pool and 2 deep diving wells along with it. So what better project to marry that to another recreational like the racetrack, and then we've got some other interest in that as well. So hopefully we'll have some good announcements on that in the very near future. Going back to the Frontier District, the Old Town Bellevue area, we had a project, we started working on that years ago, but it's starting to get legs now. We had a project, we had a groundbreaking on it about a year ago, and the building was 14 to 16,000 square feet of retail with 53 apartments above it. And they found out that we need more retail, more merchant services down in the area. It's kind of a desert down in the Old Town area. So they revamped that to 20,000 square feet of retail on the main floor, a whole second floor parking above it, and 65 apartments above. And there's some living area for those apartments above the garage on that deck as well. So very excited about that, and that should be a great catalyst to help move that downtown area along. Along with that, we're working on a streetscape, so we're going to rescape that entire Mission Avenue, the 4 or 5 block area, east to west, and then also north on Franklin. Slowing down traffic, making it more pedestrian friendly, diagonal parking, adding parking, and just beautifying that a little bit. Some of our infrastructure is over 80 years old in that street, so it's a perfect time to address that issue, because we're going to have to replace that infrastructure, which comes with tearing up streets anyway, so good timing with that, along with the new project. American Heroes Park. I don't know if you've been down there, but that's becoming a destination. It's just a really long, kind of oval lake with a walking area, walking path around it. We're going to be starting an amphitheater construction. Some of that will start this year, and that's about a 10-year plan. But we'll have a children's park in there, amphitheater, a little community center, a lookout tower, and that's where the Riverfest Bellevue Rocks River Festival has been the last couple of years, and we will have that again this year, June 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Bellevue Library update. We have a very old library right now. It serves its purpose, but it's very dated, and it was just logistically to revamp that library and move to a temporary location while rebuilding. It became quite expensive. So we ended up finding a perfect building for it, and we're moving that library to a new location on Longbow Drive, right across from Bellevue University. It's going to be about 17,000 feet when it's done, with a new addition on it, and they'll have all new space, and the library folks are very excited about that, and that's going to be a great addition to the city of Bellevue. A lot more updated. The old library we sold that to the food pantry, so that building will become a food pantry center. Pickleball, I haven't played it yet, but we have the pickleball courts, and they're packed. Has anybody played pickleball? Raise their hands. Anybody ever played it? All right, got a couple, 3, 4. I think it's probably more my speed, so maybe I should. But we've got, we're revamping some of those tennis courts that weren't used into the pickleball courts. Bellevue University is building a, down at Hayworth Park. We leased out Hayworth Park to a private developer. Kind of got tired of losing our money on the floodwaters that would come up there, so we turned it over to a private party, and they are leasing it. Along on the same side where the city recreational softball fields are, Bellevue University is building their softball complex down there. They're also putting a soccer field that will be covered down there as well. So that's going to be a great athletic facility for Bellevue University. And another $3 to $5 million investment. And it talks about the levee improvements. So a lot of these projects that we have going on in Bellevue are affected by what Mayor Black was talking about earlier with the dam sites. So we are at the bottom of the funnel in Bellevue, so we may have to have you drain some of those dam sites, just as a precautionary. But they built a $42 million levee improvement system. So those levees have all been improved, and we're waiting on the certification. They're all certifiable, but we're just waiting on that signature. Bellevue University is building a field house. They've never had a field house there. It's kind of strange that a university would be there without a field house, but this is a brand new improvement, 72,000 square feet, I believe. And that's going right there at the corner of Harvell Drive and Fort Herb Road. Bellevue University's complex is, they're doing an incredible job there. I was talking about the Chinese population there, but world known, and I was talking with Greg London earlier, and he said a lot of his guys are even getting their masters from there, so it's a very used. So as you leave, we're gonna have a copy of this at the front desk. There's a stack of them, so if anybody wants to take one, it covers a lot of valuable information. We found out with the annual report, in this information world, you can find out anything you want to know, but you have to know where to go to find it. So what better way than to put an annual report together and send it out to every resident in the city of Bellevue. Any questions on what I've talked about so far? I don't think we had questions and answers, but. I'm just gonna blame it on Mayor Black.
Where were we at?
Oh, there we go.
You should be able to do the arrows.
Good. All right, thank you. So our the Bellevue Police Department, 5 years ago, when I took office, we had 88 officers and one Hispanic speaking officer. Since then, we had Chief Clary take over. He's done a remarkable job getting that back up to full force, 111 fully staffed and fully equipped police department. Same way the fire department, fully equipped, fully staffed. It's not no volunteer anymore, so we are in good shape there, and they do an outstanding job, and they've got a lot of experience putting out some fires. High-speed internet. I think we might be the first ones dealing with this in Sarpy County as far as the install. But you cannot build a major infrastructure in a city covering 33,000 properties and not be noticed, because it takes a lot of destruction, tearing up ground. They are putting it back, so we've handled a lot of calls, but they are doing a great job in the end product. And if you don't have that high-speed internet, 5 years from now, you're not going to be able to sell your property. So it's a utility that we're all going to need. Aloe's FastWire is putting it in the ground right now. Aloe's the contract is signed off on, and we're putting that in as soon as they get started. And I think that Google's knocking at our door trying to get a contract signed. So a lot going on there. Housing starts. Again, like everybody else, those were booming. We've got great developments going up. We've got they're listed up there, but the big ones, Lakewood Villages, West, We've got another 266 lots slated there with 11 commercial lots, 2 multifamily lots. That's at 54th and Highway 370. Redwood Development, 25th and Cornhusker. They are a national company. They come in and build out a whole subdivision. I think there's 130 units, 131 units in that one. They don't sell any of them, they rent them all out. So that whole subdivision is rented. They own 40,000 homes around the country and they rent every one of them. And I've never sold one. Bell Point, 36 in Lexington, 51 units. Freedom Village, Hillcrest, great partner, I know, with all of us really. They built that Freedom Village, that is sold out. Can't remember the exact units. 36 maybe. Wolf Creek Apartments, more apartments going in there. And then we've also got affordable housing projects going on. There's one that's over behind the Beardmore Chevrolet dealer. I think there's 36 units in that, 2-bedroom, 1-car garage, and I think they're gonna rent for $800 a month. So we're working on affordability housing as well. Keep pushing the wrong button, but. I'm gonna throw an ad in while I'm waiting. I'm gonna mess up again. Bellevue Rocks is gonna be down at American Heroes Park, June 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. And we have Yellow Brick Road, a tribute to, yep. That's good. We have a tribute to Elton John, Friday night. Saturday night's gonna be Uncle Cracker, great carnival as well. There. National Guard Reserve Center is being built right now. The walls are going up on that, K Park and 25th Street. So that is, they're gonna be training National Guard men and women from all across the state. So there's gonna be thousands of people coming through that facility. So another great addition we've got going on. Bellevue just approved, the city council just approved to create an inland port authority. That's also getting a lot of traction down on the Highway 34 corridor. We're talking to several manufacturers at this point in time, so that's that application sent off to the state. I think they'll take 5 statewide. There's only 2 right now, so we're hoping to get that application approved. It's a great area. It's got dual serve railroad down there. You obviously have the Missouri River, 3rd Highway 34 connecting I-29 with Kennedy Freeway, so a very hot area for us. Leopard Lanes, I don't know how many have bowled there over the years, but they did shut down about 3 years ago, and we do have a new investor, Steve Kacharik. He's a senior loan officer at one of the local banks. Kind of put everything out there. He's a 10-year veteran from the Navy. He wants to do a lot of military type marketing with the lanes. So looking forward to that opening back up. Bellevue really does lack a lot of family entertainment, so with the entertainment district, with the bowling alley, with different things with the park and everything we're working on, we're trying to get that built back up. Some future development, Bellevue's invested about $25 to $30 million into the sewer and water for the south side of Bellevue, south of Offutt there. So that sewer work, it says it will start in 24, it'll be finished in 24, water infrastructure will be finished in 25, so that's a $25, $30 million investment from the city of Bellevue. That's in addition to the South Sarpy sewer that we were mentioning earlier. Fork Brook Road in Cornhusker, there's a 20-acre site right on the corner there. There's 9 commercial parcels slotted for that area. That's a $50 million investment. Fairview Business Park, 2 industrial lots, Fork Brook Road south of Fairview Road, so that's at that interchange just north of Normandy Hills and south of the base. We've got 2 industrial buildings going there, some interest across the street as well. Papillion Sanitation headquarters being built on the west side of the Fork River Road in that same area, so a lot of growth in that area. Another car wash. Anybody needs any place to put a car wash, you bring them here, I guess. Walmart, 15th Street, remodeled. That place looked brand new, and they did their remodel. They put about $4 million in that, and then Target had a $2.5 million investment as well. And I think that's it. And if you have any questions, we're glad to answer them. Thank you.